what's up everybody? Enderheart here with Where Are You Dipper fanfic reading chapter, let's see, was it 5, I think? No, we're on 6, okay. Let's get right into this. I've been waiting all weekend. Dipper's POV. I woke up to the sound of a door slam. I quickly jumped into a sitting position and watched the stairs. I held my breath, hoping he would not come down here. It was quiet for about 30 seconds. Just when I was about to sigh in relief, I heard footsteps slowly walking down the stairs. I gasped and squinted my eyes shut. Please be the whip, please be the whip, please be the whip, I heard him yell. I heard him yell. I opened my eyes. He was holding a pocket knife and a lighter. I internally screamed. "Didn't I tell you to eat that bread I put out for you?" he yelled angrily. "Yes, sir. I got tired. I'm sorry, sir," I managed to say. "Sorry isn't gonna cut it, Pines," he yelled. "You need to be punished," he said mechanically while looking at the lighter and pocket knife. He dragged me over to the handcuffs and cuffed my hands to the wall. He walked over to a table and grabbed some tape. "I don't even want to hear your screams," he said while putting the tape over my mouth. "And since you don't want to eat the food I provide you with, maybe you shouldn't even be fed." He finished taping my mouth and started. I noticed he put the lighter in his pocket, so I figured he was going to start by cutting me. He started down at my feet. He carved a small X on each of my toes. Then he cut open my shirt and started cutting my chest and my stomach. I screamed as he started cutting close to my neck. It was muffled because of the tape, but I was still punished. "I said no screaming!" he yelled as he slashed the knife across my cheek, creating a deep cut. I couldn't stand the pain. I screamed again. "I said shut up!" he yelled, making long cuts on my arms and legs and short ones across my wrists and my ankles. I was trying my hardest not to scream. I was biting my tongue and squinting, squirming my eyes shut, hoping it would be over soon. I noticed he stopped cutting me, and I opened my eyes only to realize he was getting out his lighter. "How does he get this stuff?" I yelled internally. He saw the fear in my eyes and laughed. You know, it's really sad," he said as he burned my shoulder. "You should have known I was bluffing." He put the fire on my elbow. "I mean, I don't want anything to do with your stupid little friends and great uncle." He burnt a small part of my arm. "And your sister? I would never hurt my little sugar plum. I never even wanted you. All I wanted was a journal, but since you never brought it, you caused me to lose my journal, and that journal was my life. So since I basically don't have a life anymore, I figured, why should you?" My eyes winced as he kicked me in the head. The last thing I remember was seeing him burning a picture of me that I blacked out. Mabel's POV. I was sitting on Dipper's bed, looking at Wendy, Seuss, and Crinklestan. They were sitting on my bed. "Okay, so we all clear the plan?" I asked. "I'm so ready, dude!" Seuss exclaimed. "Yep," Wendy said, popping the P. "I'm ready," Stan said, smiling. "Then let's go," I said with a determined look on my face. We started walking towards Wendy's house. The plan was to have Manly Dan go over to Gideon's house and lure him outside. He was going to lie and tell him that one of his flowers was a real flower and probably worth millions of dollars. This will hopefully catch Gideon's eye, and he will ask Manly Dan to show him the flower. From there, Manly Dan will lead him to the backyard where the supposed flower is. He will kick a bush while walking back there, signaling the coast is clear. If it is, then Stan Seuss. If it is, then that. It is then that Stan, Seuss, and Wendy and I sneak into his house and search for Dipper. The plan is bulletproof. We got to Wendy's house, which thankfully only took about 5 minutes, and Wendy begged her dad to do it. He finally agreed once he got tired of hearing us say please repeatedly, and we started making our way to Gideon's house. When we got to the front, Wendy, Sue, Stan, and I walked to the side of the house to hide in the biggest bush. He watched as Manly Dan approached the door and knocked. We held our breath as he waited for about a minute before Gideon answered the door. We couldn't hear anything, but we saw their mouths moving. We saw as Gideon closed the door and walked to the back with Manly Dan. He kicked the bush on the way past, and we waited until they were out of sight to quietly sneak to the front of the house. Since I was the smallest, I climbed through the doggy door and unlocked it for Wendy and Seuss. He started moving through the house secretly, looking in rooms and closets. Dude, we looked in every room. He's not here, Seuss whispered. I started to panic. But he has to be. This was our only clue. Where else could he be? I angrily whispered as I hit my head against the wall. I'm sorry, Dipper, I whispered to myself as a tear rolled down my cheek. Wait a minute, I heard Wendy whisper. She knocked on the wall that I just hit my head on. Guys, it's hollow! My heart started pounding. There's something in there! But what? I whispered. We started looking for a way in when Seuss noticed that the rug they were standing on was lifted up at the end. He walked over at the end and pulled up a little corner. He gasped. Dude, check this out, he whispered. Wendy, Stan, and I jogged over there and looked. It looked like a door to a basement or something. Open it up, Wendy whispered. He opened it to reveal a control panel. There were 6 levers labeled bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bathroom 1, bathroom 2, laundry room, and hallway. I pushed the one that said hallway forward, and we all heard a sound like a door opening, except it came from the wall. Sue stood up and tried figuring out where it opened. Try one of the pictures, I said, but there were so many. Stan whispered. How do we know which one to take off? He said, standing back up along with Wendy. That one, I whispered/yelled. That's the closest one to the floor, and it's around Gideon's height. I closed the panel and covered it back up with the rug. Wendy took the picture off the wall. She gasped. Mabel, you were right. Come on, let's go. I ran over there. I want to go first. It was like a tunnel that you had to climb through, then open up the other door, which led to a staircase and a room like a basement. We all started walking down the stairs one by one while holding onto each other. There was a wall on both sides, so I couldn't see anything until I got to the table with a slice of bread and another table with knives, lighters, and whips. We all looked at each other questionably, and just as we were about to walk further into the room, we heard a voice. Well, if it isn't Mabel Pines, her gross uncle, and 2 idiotic friends. We turned around and saw Gideon walking down the stairs. I didn't think you'd find me. How did you do it? He said, climbing close to me. I backed into Wendy and Seuss as he stroked my cheek. Dipper leave his beloved sister a note? Don't touch my great niece, you little troll, Stan yelled. Gideon suddenly dropped his nightstick and said, Listen, Stanford, you better watch who you're talking to with that voice, or you'll be in for a great big surprise. He stopped and smiled evilly. Speaking of surprises, he said while walking towards the only dark corner of the room. Oh, Dipper, you have some visitors, he said as he pulled Dipper out of the corner. I gasped at the sight of my brother. He was bleeding in many places. He was burnt in some. He had bruises, cuts, and marks from a whip. My eyes filled with tears as I saw him look up. By now I was sobbing. I couldn't even look at him. Mabel, he croaked. Our eyes met, and in that moment nothing else in the world mattered. I didn't care that Gideon could kill me at any second. All that mattered was my brother. Just staring into his deep brown eyes made everything come crashing down on me. all the emotional and physical pain he'd been through in the last couple of days. His feelings, his thoughts, his pain. I did it for you, Mabel, he croaked. Did I say you could talk? Gideon yelled, throwing Dipper to the floor. I started crying even harder at the sound of his scream. Shut up, boy! Gideon yelled as he kicked Dipper in the stomach. Run, guys! Don't let him get you. He's too powerful. Leave me. Save yourselves! Dipper yelled through kicks and punches. Gideon, stop! I yelled. He stopped and looked up with me with a crazy look in his eye. Mabel, no. Dipper wheezed as he coughed up blood. Gideon grabbed a knife and started running towards me. I closed my eyes and thought, I deserve this. Look what I did to Dipper. I deserve this. I opened my eyes to see Gideon a couple feet away from me. I squinted my eyes and awaited pain that never came. I opened my eyes to see Gideon laying on the ground in front of me with a knife in his back. I looked above him and saw Dipper looking down at him. He looked at me and I smiled and ran up to him and gave him a hug. He stood up and we hugged for what felt like forever. I felt his grip get loose, so I was about to release him when he fell completely into my arms. Guys, he passed out! We have to get him to the hospital! He's bleeding uncontrollably from his back, ankle, and mouth! We need to go, quick! That was chapter 6. Where are you, Dipper? Interesting. That was dramatic. Even more dramatic than the last one. But the next one is going to be more dramatic, it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed. I can only read one chapter tonight, but sorry if you guys heard my dog pacing around or whatever. She's annoying. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. I'm making a preview of mine that I'm making, so you guys better check that out when I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like or whatever, and see you guys later. Bye!